Yo, what is up, guys? This is Troy D from the Troy D 24/7 Mall channel, your source for on point and no hype reviews. We are back at it again, everybody. We're back with another fragrance review right here, guys, on my lovely day off. And as promised, I will continue my review series. I promised a few fragrances that I have been testing to review them and put them up on the channel. Today, I'm going to talk about a fragrance that's pretty demanded, I would say. And a lot of people are looking for a no hype review on this latest Mancera fragrance that took the hype from the latest Scent Explore convention. So can't wait to tell you all about this fragrance. Let's go. Now, before I continue, please do not forget to like and subscribe, guys. Okay, liking, subscribing, and watching the ads is a great big deal to this channel as we head towards 26,000 subscribers. So please continue all your support, guys. Deep dive into my over 800 no hype videos, from clone comparisons to niche and designer. Please deep dive into them. There's a lot of them right there. Thank you so much for all your support. And the fragrance that we'll be talking about today is none other than the latest Mancera, or one of the latest Manceras for 2025. This one's got a lot of hype though. This is none other than Mancera Xplicit Vanilla. Yes, Xplicit Vanilla, guys. And the first person I do want to thank for this decant is, of course, Jared Miller. One of the best decanters in the game. Great vial, great pricing, great selection of amazing new fragrances, guys. Jared's got it all. I'm gonna link his Facebook below so you can message him and find out what is on the docket today, because it's always changing, it's always ever evolving. And you know, when I was on vacation in Tokyo, he dumped a lot of really good ones on the list. So please contact Jared and get an update on what is new. Again, thank you, Jared. Okay, so what is up with this fragrance right here, Mancera Xplicit Vanilla? Let's start with the core note or spotlight note, as I always say, of this fragrance, which is vanilla, right? So a lot of us like vanilla, but I would say that those that like femme fragrances, or the women, really like straight up vanilla. It works for them. I mean, if you see, you know, a lady pass by with a straightforward vanilla scent, they smell good, they always get the compliments. So that is why vanilla is pretty popular to women. Now, men love vanilla as well. I like vanilla too, but I like vanilla with some modifiers, something to kind of, you know, shake it out from that normal straightforward mix that smells femme. And we do have a lot of fragrances in the fragrance community that, you know, do this, that has, you know, vanilla with some beautiful modifiers right here. Now, this fragrance right here, like I said, this one took the hype from the Scent Explore convention, probably because, you know, it has a little bit of both. The fragrance pyramid also got me curious, particularly the note of Cambodian oud. All right, Cambodian oud in this mix got me pretty curious about this fragrance, and I wondered, well, oh wow, Cambodian oud got everyone excited. And also, of course, the notes of dark chocolate, benzoin, tonka bean, and such, brown sugar, right? All these notes really got me interested. It is definitely an interesting concoction. So today we'll find out what this fragrance is really like. No hype. Let's go spray this thing right now. Okay, guys, now let's talk about this fragrance right here, Mancera's Xplicit Vanilla. What is this fragrance truly about? Now, what greets you in the beginning is a concoction of chocolate, vanilla, dry woods, and the early appearance of cypriol. All right, so that is what you can expect coming into this fragrance, Mancera Xplicit Vanilla. And the first thing that's really predominant in the first, like, let's say 30 minutes to 45 minutes of this scent is going to be dark chocolate. All right, so dark chocolate's gonna be here. And of course, as the scent progresses, you have that Mexican vanilla come out, sort of balancing this chocolate, because at first it's actually a more prominent dark chocolate, but of course with the vanilla mixing in as it goes, it starts to become more of like, you know, like a dark but milk chocolatey type mix because of the creamy nature, the sweet creamy nature of that Mexican vanilla. Now, one thing that's going to be here from start to finish, or maybe start to near end, is going to be the dry woody nature of this fragrance. That's something that's there really, and it sets the differentiator of this scent as well. You're going to have kind of like that pencil shavings type of dry cedar right here. That is also a prominent feature of cypriol oil that to me is the Cambodian oud in this entire mix. In my opinion, it's mostly going to be an oud substitute called cypriol oil that comes in early here as well, kind of like a tertiary or even, you know, the fourth level type of smell right here. As you are smelling the nice dark chocolate and vanilla combination, like I said, and the dry woodiness. All right, so again, beautiful intro, guys. Nice dark chocolate, lactonic, you know, vanilla mix with dry woodiness. And again, like I said, cypriol oil starts coming in, but in a very, very small amount right here. I like this intro right here. Now, my first impression of this fragrance was, wow, this is unisex. All right, this is pretty unisex, because like I said, one of the things about vanilla fragrances is that, you know, it's really set for women, you know, like I said, and women love using vanilla fragrances. But the modifier here in the intro obviously is going to be dark chocolate and the dry woods, that dry pencil shavings like cedar style woods that's here in this intro, makes this scent unisex. As a guy, I had no problems wearing it. I had the same like compliment, you know, drawing vanilla that's there. But as a guy, I really like the fact that there was a dark chocolate note right there, as well as a very familiar dry woodiness that I like in a lot of other perfumes, like Bois Talisman from Dior. I got it right here as well. So as a guy, I felt like, oh, this is nice. This is pretty unisex in the intro of Xplicit Vanilla. Okay, now let's talk about initial sillage and projection of this fragrance. Guys, when I sprayed this right now, this is actually the most that I've sprayed this fragrance, okay? Why? Because to me, really minimal sprays just from this vial created such a beautiful sillage. And I want to explain real quickly what kind of sillage I expect from fragrances. So I am not the type that likes room dominating, corridor conquering, everybody looks at you types of fragrances. Okay, I do like a nice scent trail. I do want people to get curious about where that smell is coming from and maybe look my way as I'm passing by. And of course, I do not like weak perfumes. That's one of those things. I do not like weak perfumes, but I'm also not like an attention hog. So actually, I felt that this fragrance really, if you sprayed this from the big bottle, would actually cause a huge scent trail. Now, some people might like it, but for me, minimal sprays. I would say every time I tried this really on the field, I only did like 4 sprays really, or 4 to 5 sprays, and that created my optimal sillage and projection, which is basically a nice wallop, a nice scent trail as you are wearing this fragrance. No doubt everyone will smell you, but again, I like that curiosity. I like that draw in, which this one has, especially with the early appearance of cypriol oil. I like the sillage and projection even at minimal sprays. Okay, so now let's talk about the mid of this fragrance right here. Like I said, cypriol oil is going to be the Cambodian oud of this fragrance. It's not real oud. It's not animalic, fecal oud that some of y'all have smelled in other fragrances. This one right here has cypriol oil, and cypriol oil does have smoky and leathery properties and spicy properties as well with the dry woods. And so cedar and sandalwood, they're both listed as mid notes in this fragrance. Again, that's kind of like the backbone of Xplicit Vanilla, having dry woodiness throughout. But then of course, the cypriol oil is going to be something that will add like a leathery smoky mix right here with some spiciness. And again, this is that masculine modifier that I was like, oh, right here with cypriol being here, it felt like, you know, another unisex balancer right here. Like, again, the vanilla is there though, okay? Mind you, vanilla is going to be right here, but I liked that it had cypriol oil. It's not oud, it's not like the animalic oud. It is going to be cypriol oil with some spiciness, some smoky, leathery, dry, woodsy nature with that cedar and sandalwood. Now, the great thing about this one right here is that Mancera didn't forget about the ladies, all right? So the vanilla, again, is prominent here in this mid, but what did they add? Brown sugar, all right? Brown sugar was added here. To me, it felt like a precursor to the eventual amber in the end of this fragrance, but you have like some nice brown sugar, which I feel is again an ode to the women, plus the vanilla. This fragrance, I mean, from start to mid is incredibly balanced for, both sexes or anyone in between. I felt pretty satisfied, and, thinking from a perspective of a woman that's looking for like a vanilla scent, that nice touch of your sprinkle of brown sugar, I believe, is for the ladies. Okay, so now let's talk about the dry down of this fragrance right here, Mancera Xplicit Vanilla, which starts, I would say, I like the 5-hour mark. It kind of starts early right here, probably because of the dose of benzoin or amber that's in here. But to me, the dry down is kind of like, it's kind of boring compared to the first and middle parts of this fragrance. Again, the first part, dark chocolate, dry woods, early appearance of cypriol, of course, the vanilla shining out throughout this fragrance right here. And of course, the mid, having that spicy, woody, smoky cypriol, and then sprinkles of brown sugar for the ladies, and then the vanilla continuing. That was pretty nice as well. Dry down, pretty straightforward, pretty, I would say, like, redundant with other perfumes. This one right here starts early with benzoin or amber, with, that sweet ambery resinous smell. Nothing new, bridges from the brown sugar mix of this fragrance. Vanilla will still be here though, and of course there's going to be a nice dry down body, which is from the tonka bean. You have your sweet tonka bean with a hay-like nature creating the body here in the dry down. Nothing really new, nothing really crazy. It's just an amber tonka bean vanilla dry down. But I will say this, that the vanilla here actually outlasts the amber, which is really, really interesting. I don't know if they put 3 layers of this vanilla or if it was like an absolute, like a vanilla absolute, but for some reason, this vanilla outlasted the amber. Okay, that's one thing I will say. So even when the amber tonka bean mix is gone, you will be smelling this vanilla go on and on with this fragrance right here. Okay guys, so what do I think of this fragrance right here, Mancera Xplicit Vanilla? I've said it before, I'll say it again. I like how this is a unisex vanilla scent with just enough notes that will make both sexes or everyone in between happy, with dark chocolate, with cypriol oil, dry woods, brown sugar, right? And of course, amber and tonka bean in the end. As a guy, like I said, I like this fragrance, and I like the fact that even as a guy, this one still had a straight, start to finish vanilla and start to finish dry woods, which to me is a compliment getting. I mean, you can really see the positive reactions with people whenever you wear a vanilla scent. If you pass by people, with like regular air, no scents on it, vanilla really will capture their attention. It's a sweet, semi-thick type of vanilla that's in the air. I mean, it always does the job, and imagine, brown sugar adding up to that as well. It's gonna get the attention and compliments of many. But like I said, the fact that it has some familiar, like spicy, woody, leathery cypriol, dry woods, dark chocolate in there, I was pretty happy with the mix of this fragrance. And also usage wise, guys, this, like many other vanilla scents, makes for a nice indoor AC environment scent. And of course, fall, winter is kind of like the standard, like outdoorsy way to wear vanilla scents. One thing that's interesting about this fragrance though is that it didn't feel really thick. It was comforting as always, with the vanilla being there, and of course tonka bean, which will be great for cool to cold environments. But of course, vanilla scents are also made for indoor AC environments. I don't know, nowadays I smell a lot of vanilla in offices, in buildings, in malls, even in the hospital. People are wearing vanilla, so people are catching on to the nice compliment getting and cozy nature of sweet vanilla scents, right? So definitely I would say this is indoor environments type, and also because of those nice modifiers, this could be a sultry, sensual nighttime type of scent as well, that you can wear safely on dates. I know that you guys are thinking about that Cambodian oud, which is really cypriol. No, I mean, the cypriol oil really just adds some smokiness. There's no funk. There's some spiciness in that, which, makes for a nice, like, daytime type of scent that will bring people in. It will bring the boys from the yard. All right. So I like the usage of this one. And of course, let's talk about the performance of this fragrance, Mancera Xplicit Vanilla. And of course, Mancera does not suck when it comes to performance, without a doubt. Actually, with this one, they overperformed episode, because to me, I quit. I mean, the fragrance lasted as long as 16 hours that I could still smell the vanilla around me. Okay, so it is a very long lasting fragrance. I don't know if y'all would need that, but I mean, if you're working long hours in the office, maybe that would work for you. But really, it is a very long lasting fragrance. No problem with the performance right here. And finally, let's look into the cost. Okay, this is a no-brainer because Mancera, even at the normal retail price, is pretty cheap. I would say, like, cheap or affordable. I don't know if that's the word right there, but they had an interesting price structure on this one. It was like $118 for a 60 ml, and it was like for $40 more you could get the 120, that big 120 ml of this fragrance. So with that being said, I think that of course it's worth the full bottle if you decide to purchase it, because I mean, with the 4 sprays I was talking about, even me being conservative, I got the sillage I wanted, I got the performance I wanted. So a big bottle will really last you a really long time. Now, just in case, like I said, you want to try this first because maybe you are a vanilla lover, and a lot of people are saying, oh, this is a fragrance for a vanilla lover. Big problem here is you might get some redundancy. And with that being said, that is why you should try it first at a very low cost basis by hitting up Jared Miller for a decant of Xplicit Vanilla. Why? Because, hey, you might get some redundancy. And I don't review a lot of vanilla scents, vanilla-centric scents. So maybe this could be redundant with your other scents. With that being said, again, try this from Jared at a low cost. Hit him up below. And that is it. That is my no hype review on the latest Mancera fragrance that caused some buzz at Scent Explore. This is none other than Mancera Xplicit Vanilla. Let me know in the comments below what y'all think of this fragrance. Did you love it? Did you find it really unisex as I did? Or was it, you know, kind of like just like a regular vanilla fragrance to y'all? Did it feel redundant to any other vanilla scents that you guys and gals may have? Let me know in the comments below. And again, there are no right or wrong answers. Just be respectful to myself and others. All right. And we'll see you guys on the next video. I got the latest Arabian Oud Sultani Amber Wood. I got the Drake perfume. I've got Intense Instant Crush. So can't wait to crush those videos out to y'all. So please stay tuned for the next video. Again, please do not forget to like and subscribe. Support myself and Jared. God bless. Take care. Peace.